couple of deep breaths. Okay. All right. If anyone here feels the need to go back to your car to get your sunglasses, because it's a little bright for you, I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. I'll maybe tell a few jokes. Maybe I'll dance. Maybe I'll run back there and come up here again and lose some more of my wind. Just a little something to create the energy in here, because we're going to be talking about the power of zeal this morning. Now, Curb Your Enthusiasm is a very popular comedy. Appears on HBO. I watch it from time to time. And it's called Curb Your Enthusiasm. Well, here today, we're going to say, don't curb your enthusiasm. Don't bottle it up. Let it flow. It's a very necessary component to spiritual growth and fruitful and fulfilled living. So don't curb that enthusiasm. Just let it flow, let it go, just let it shine, let it embody you into how you express you. So don't curb your enthusiasm. That's a little hard for me. I don't know. I have trouble getting enthusiastic at times. You guys believe that, don't you? The power of zeal this morning. Zeal is that power that allows us to be enthusiastic. It allows us to be motivated towards what it is that we are attempting to accomplish. It allows us to be passionate. Got to have that zeal, as well as to be inspired. The power of zeal. The color of zeal is orange, hence the shirt. And each and every one of us has this zeal. Even if you feel like you're the most monotone person with the most flatline personality, there's zeal in there somewhere. You may not recognize it or realize it, but zeal is there. And I'm encouraging you to don't curb it, not curb it. Let it come out. Let it flow. Be enthusiastic. Sometimes the word zeal and the word enthusiasm are used interchangeably, both in general discourse and language, as well as in this power that we're celebrating. So sometimes we say it's the power of enthusiasm, the power of zeal. We're talking about the same Christ quality that is in each and every one of us. And it's very interesting because the power of zeal, the human capacity to feel zeal, it mirrors the very same power and energy that we see in nature. There's an unseen power that causes tides to be incited. It's an unseen power that causes wind to blow. It's an unseen power that causes the planets to move on their course. We see the movement. We don't necessarily see with our physical eye the energy that causes that to happen. But there is an energy that motivates and inspires all those things, that causes a blade of grass to grow. So the very same zeal that we're seeing in nature and in the universe, it mirrors the zeal that each and every one of us has. What motivated you to come to this church this morning? You incorporated some zeal. I'm sure you may not have thought consciously about it, but there was a motivating energy within you that you drew from, that coupled with your idea of coming to church, it caused you to get up. It caused you to get dressed. Hopefully you showered or took a bath, but at some point within the last 24 hours. And then you came to church. And we get to see your beautiful faces. And now that I'm wearing these glasses, I can see your beautiful faces much better. I've been using denials in the wrong way. I've been denying that I've needed glasses for about 10 years now. So we're talking about that power of zeal this morning. And on the next slide, there's a very interesting scripture that I wanted to expound on. It's Romans chapter 12, verse 11. Do not go lagging in zeal. Be fervent in spirit. Serve the Lord. And of course, since this is a New Testament scripture, a Christian scripture, the Lord represents, metaphysically, represents the Christ presence within us. That word enthusiasm. Enthusiasm comes from two Greek words that are joined together. N-E-N, and theos, T-H-E-O-S. Put those two words together, in theos, it literally means to be possessed by God. It means to be divinely inspired. So our capacity to experience zeal is not something that is present in us based upon our moods, based upon whether we're having a good day or a bad day. It is literally the presence and the light of God within each of us. And each of us has that zeal. So this scripture is telling us, don't go lacking. You can never lack zeal. You always have it. But don't go lacking in your expression of it. And be fervent in spirit. In serving the Lord or serving our Christ nature can be better interpreted as living our Christ nature, honoring our Christ nature, recognizing the fact that each and every one of us is the presence of the divine in action, and live that fact. And when you live that fact, there is endless, boundless zeal. Now, like anything else, zeal has a positive expression. It has to be expressed in a balanced way. It has to be balanced because zeal is a power just like anything else. There can be too much of it, or there could be not enough of it. If there's too much zeal, we all have heard of the term zealot, a word which zeal is the root word of. When we have too much zeal, and that zeal is not coupled with wisdom, then we can be overzealous. Perhaps we can be overbearing. Each and every one of us has met that person who was so zealous about their particular religious path that they just kind of suck all the oxygen in the room because they want everybody to know that this is the correct religious path, and if you're not following this path, boy, shame on you. So we all know that person, but sometimes we can be overzealous in our aims and our goals. I see something I want that's in the back of the room, and despite any other considerations, I just run for it. Now, there could be a pack of rabid dogs all the way up the aisleway, but I don't care. I want my goal, and I'm overzealous about it, so I'm going to go, and if I do get back there, my clothes will be ripped, and maybe I'll get bit in the process. In other words, it's to be so zealous about accomplishing a goal that we disregard how our steps might affect other people. We don't necessarily take the right steps that are safe and that are conducive and orderly to the goal that we're accomplishing. And then on the other hand, we can have too little zeal. And if we're not too little in the sense of really expressing it and embodying it, allowing ourselves to express the zeal that is there. And if we do that, life loses a little bit of its sweetness. If we really get chronic with it, it can take us from living to merely existing. We lose our zest for life. We lose our passion, so to say. And that's a really serious thing. That's a really serious thing. If we lose a zest and a passion for life, then what are we doing? We're just existing. There's nothing to look forward to, nothing to inspire us. And literally, that's a few steps away from death. So we don't want to embody too little zeal, but we certainly don't want to have too much. What we want to do is we want to take our zeal and couple it with another of the 12 powers, which is wisdom, the ability to discern or decide. So when we couple those two powers together, we are able to express zeal in healthy measure. We don't go too far. We don't do too little. We have just enough zeal and a healthy level of zeal to be able to accomplish our goals, to go after our dreams, to be about those projects that we've been putting off for a long time. So we're talking about this power, this wonderful power of zeal. Now, in the synopsis to this, I promised a surefire way to make sure that your zeal is always ever present and healthy. So what I would like to introduce to you all is what I call the zeal formula. There it is. It's an addition equation. You will consistently have a consciousness full of healthy zeal if you know your oneness with God, if you find your why or your reason for being or your bliss and live it boldly, daringly, and practice gratitude. If we incorporate these things, you'll never have to worry about not having enough zeal. You'll have to worry about having too much of it if you do this, actually. But it will make sure that your zeal is ever present and always high and always in a good measure for you to be the Christ who you are and for you to accomplish your dreams, for you to be more present for your family and your friends and your community, for you to go after those projects that you want to do, for you to show up in the world and make a difference the way you are divinely encoded and formulated to make a difference. It'll allow you to have the zeal to do that. Know your oneness with God. I'm not talking about just a simple idea in mind that you read in a book. I'm talking about coming into intimate awareness of the Christ presence in the God nature within you. Each and every one of us has that spark of divinity within us. And if you adopt a consistent prayer and meditation practice where you constantly affirm your oneness, allow yourself to feel the presence of God in you, allow yourself to feel the presence of God illuminating your mind, opening your heart, and energizing your spirit, that fervence and spirit that the scripture talked about. As you grow in that awareness and in that consciousness, it opens you up to a steady stream of divinity flowing in you, flowing through you, flowing as you. You are the presence of the divine. Know it in prayer and know it in affirmation. I'm at the place in my spiritual growth that when I pray, I don't so much pray for things or things that I want. I certainly know that as a child of God, I have the right to do that. But for right now in this stage of my life, what works for me is to pray simply to know my oneness, to become intimately aware of the Christ presence within me. And I find that as I affirm that and as I acknowledge that, I'm able to navigate my way through the world so that when it comes to the things I might want, or it comes to the outcomes of the demonstrations that I might want to manifest in the world, things tend to happen. That's me. I'm not saying this for you to do it. I'm saying this as a recognition and an expression of where I am in consciousness. What I am saying is that we should spend some time in prayer simply knowing and feeling our oneness with God so that it begins to have that second nature feeling to us. Knowing your why. What makes you get out of bed every day? What makes you tick? What is it that whenever you think about it or allow yourselves to feel it, just gives you an energy and a charge in life? What is your sense of purpose? What is the sense of mission that the divine is putting on your heart that you feel moved to? Hey, if you're a child, your mission might be to just have fun. I know that's what it was mine. I didn't think about much else. If you're a young adult starting out, your mission might be to establish yourself in the world, career-wise, community-wise, being present-wise. You might want to start a family and raise a family. And you might feel a sense of mission about that beyond what is typical and what is conventional. If you're retired, maybe what gives you a charge is to be present for your family. Be present for your adult children, and maybe you have grandchildren on the scene. Those projects that you've been putting off all your working years that you have the time to get to now. Maybe certain projects give you a charge in life. Perhaps you want to volunteer. Maybe you feel called and moved to make a difference in the community. Go out and connect with people. Go out and be the light in the community to inspire others to be their best selves. Maybe that's your deal. Whatever your why is, whatever your bliss is, as Joseph Campbell used to say, whatever it is, in your knowing your oneness, claim your bliss, claim your purpose, claim your mission, claim your why. Even if you don't know it right now, claim it. And what will happen is the divine will reveal your purpose and your why and your mission to you. And once you are clear on that, live it with reckless abandon. Live it. Don't put it on the shelf to look at every now and again when you think about it. Live it. Live it. Go out and be the Christ presence as you, the way you are uniquely, divinely encoded and formulated to live it. No one else can live it the way you can live it. You are a unique force of nature. Don't play small or don't play little. Be who you are, daringly, boldly, lovingly, in an inspired way. Live it. My why is very simple. To love, to encourage, to motivate, and inspire. That's it. I don't know if you guys could tell that. You probably didn't know that. Maybe my why was to be a truck driver. But no, my why is to encourage, to love, to motivate, and inspire. It's the thing that makes me tick. It's the thing that gets me out of bed every morning. It's the thing that I spend the most time thinking about. So you know what? I'm going to live it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out and be the Christ presence that Art Handy is uniquely formulated to be. There is something unique about you. Not everyone can be a Jesus or a Mozart or a great actor, but you can be your uniqueness. And your why, your bliss, is a part of your uniqueness. Practice gratitude. Practice gratitude. And not just on Thanksgiving. Be about thanks living. Maybe I better put this back on. No? Whew. Practice thanks living. Be about gratitude. Adopt a gratitude practice, something that's going to allow you to constantly reflect and be grateful for the good that is already in your life. If you say to me that, Art, my life is not going too well, I don't have much to be thankful for, I'm going to call you a fibber. There is something for you to be grateful for. If nothing else, you're breathing. You're alive. You exist. In your lowest of low, all of your body processes are working to keep you alive. Your blood is flowing, your lymph fluid is flowing, you're breathing, most of the time unconsciously. All these things are working to keep you alive, even in your low state of consciousness, even though you feel like your life is not going the way you want it to go. There are forces in the universe and in nature that are conspiring for your highest good if you would only adopt the consciousness to realize it and allow that energy to flow into your life. So whatever your gratitude practice is, many people have a gratitude journal where each day they write down 1 or 2 or 3 things that may have occurred throughout the course of the day that were of their good or that were wonderful, for which to be grateful for. In doing this consistently, you go from making lists of things to be grateful for to growing in a consciousness of gratitude, where gratitude is an everyday awareness that causes you to look at life differently, that causes you to look at things differently. Me personally, what I like to do is in the evenings, I take about 5, maybe 10 minutes to go into meditation, and I just sit knowing the presence of God, and then I think of those 2 or 3 things that may have happened through the course of the day that I could be grateful for. And then as I think about each one, I allow the feeling of thanks to flow through my body. Really feeling the gratitude, really feeling the love and the appreciation for those things that happen that were of a blessing to me or of a blessing to someone else. It's a real beautiful thing to feel gratitude for someone else's blessings, for someone else's good. It takes gratitude to another level. Know your oneness, discover your why, your bliss, or your reason for being, and live it. Practice gratitude, and you won't have to think about zeal. It'll naturally be there. You won't have to claim zeal. Zeal will claim you. That's a little different vibration. I can pray to embody more of the zeal that is in me, or I can live so that that zeal organically flows up in me, through me, and as me. That's a little different level of it. So that's the zeal formula. That is the zeal formula. And on the next slide, I love this particular quote because it mentions the word genius. It's from Aldous Huxley, the great writer and philosopher. The secret of genius is to carry the spirit of the child into old age, which means never losing your enthusiasm. You all see it every week when we invite our youth to come up here. No shortage of enthusiasm. And they don't have to pray to claim it. It's naturally there. The invitation with the zeal formula is for us to be the exact same way, to be as a child. And there's something about zeal and genius. There's a relationship there. When we are filled with zeal and we allow that to be a dominant expression within us, it has this effect on our consciousness to where our natural talents and abilities more easily flow into our experience. Zeal has a way of tapping into that which is in us that we're already divinely encoded to express, and express at a high level, at a high resonating degree that has the ability to bless not only us, ourselves, but to bless the people that are around us. Zeal and genius is a very beautiful thing. That's another reason why I'm inviting you to zeal this morning. It goes back to finding your bliss, because in your bliss is seeds of talent, seeds of intelligence, seeds of favor, seeds of abundance that will allow you to accomplish that which is on your heart to do. I want to read a few words from Charles Fillmore, The 12 Powers of Man, in Charles discussing the power of zeal or enthusiasm. Zeal and enthusiasm incite to glorious achievement in every aim and ideal that the mind conceives. Zeal is the impulse to go forward, the urge behind all things. Without zeal, stagnation, inertia, and death would prevail throughout the universe. The man without zeal is like an engine without steam or an electric motor without a current. Energy is zeal in motion, and energy is the forerunner of every effect. So this power of zeal is not just about being in a good mood. It's about embodying the energy to do what we do on an everyday basis. And when we direct that zeal towards our spiritual growth, to allow us to be more aligned with our Christ nature, more centered, and more present, magic happens. And magic is not just the name of my dog. It is the power within you to embody and express. As always, I hold you all in very sacred space, and into that space I speak my simple word of prayer: life, light, and love to you all. God bless you.
I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.